So what aspects of gameplay can we think of? Balance, player experience, speed, perks, stages, flow. I won't say neutral, I'll say flow, and I'll say ranked, because that matters for me. This is going to be my thoughts on MultiVersus strictly from a gameplay point of view. If you guys are worried about, the currencies, the queues, the stages, I mean, I'm going to talk about it, skins, so on and so forth. This isn't the discussion for you. I'm going to be talking about strictly gameplay. I'm going to try my best to talk about strictly gameplay as somebody who both won Evo of 2022 in twos, and I now won Twitch Rivals, which had a plethora of top level talent in 2024 in twos. The first thing that I'd actually like to talk about is player experience. I want to talk about my experiences with the game. I want to talk about how I feel. At first, the speed is kind of hard to get used to. I'll be completely honest. It's not something that I think a majority of players will really experience, because I've said it before, beta MultiVersus was one of the fastest platform fighters I've ever played. And if I were to say this on Twitter, people wouldn't know what I was talking about. They would say, okay, the game is slower, but no, I don't think they get it from my point of view, where beta MVS was so fast that I had to wear an arm sleeve while I was playing. It was such a fast game, and for some people, that was a very good appeal. For me, I've played fast games. I understand what it's like to be fast in a platform fighter. I understand what it's like to be slow in a platform fighter. I think the speed at which new MVS plays is, again, something that I had to get used to, but I've been enjoying it a lot. One thing with beta MVS was the speed was really fast, and you could spam APM, you could spam dodge jumps, but as a player, I felt like I had to guess no matter what. People were moving around with invincibility all the time. People would sometimes attack me while low-key they're invincible. And again, I did really good at beta MVS, and that feeling sucked. It sucked to watch somebody be in a disadvantageous position and be like, okay, I'm gonna react to what they do. And I would react, and I'm like, okay, I got punished. It sucked. Albeit, I love playing fast games. I'm a very big fast games kind of guy. You guys saw it time and time again. I played a lot in NASB 1. You guys have seen how I play in Smash. I even like Melee a good amount. I like playing fast, But this game, the pacing has slowed down a lot for a lot of people. But I'd like to say, even playing today felt very similar to old MultiVersus, just with where my speed has been getting. It's old MultiVersus with a lot less guessing and a lot more intention behind my options and my opponent's options, and I like it a lot. There are a few things in regards to speed that I kind of wish was a little different. I just think the hit stop is too high. That's just where I'm at. It feels really good to whiff punish people for throwing out these near unpunishable moves in the beta. And a lot of moves that are really strong have a lot of end lag. So it's not too big of a deal for me. I like the pacing that MultiVersus is at right now, both for ones and for twos. If you've ever watched me play beta MultiVersus ones, after the first 3 weeks, I hated it. The way that I phrase it, it turned me into somebody I don't want to be, and I just really didn't like that. So I was probably one of the best haters of MultiVersus ones on the beta. Now I feel like ones is honestly really fun. It's a lot slower. You can't just force your game plan onto people, which for me, I ended up winning a big ones tournament from HBox when the game released, and I just forced my game plan onto people. And it's like, if you can't react faster than me, or you can't compose yourself faster than me, you lose. Do I like doing that? I don't. Have I done it to like win a lot of tournaments? I have. It does feel nice that there's a lot more going into even like the 1v1 matchups of release MultiVersus. I'm a very big fan of the pacing, both for 2s and for 1s. 2s today was some of the most fun I've had with this game, and I've been having a lot of fun even before Twitch Rivals. So yeah, for me, I like the pacing of the game a lot. I wish the hit stun or hit stop was a little less. I've been saying this since before the game came out. I feel completely the same on it. I wish the hit stop was a little less, because then things would feel a lot less jarring. I don't know a better way to phrase that. It would feel a lot less jarring. But ultimately, as a player, it does not affect me playing the game and getting the confirms that I want to get. How much little? Not that much. Maybe like a couple frames per hit. Like, really not a lot. I'm not saying have like no hit stop, but I also play Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry's down air is probably like one of the moves with the most hit stop in the entire game, and Tom and Jerry's down air is really good. So yeah, me personally, when it comes to the pacing of the game, I think the pacing is good. I think getting better at the game within the last 3 days of gameplay has made me appreciate the pacing of the game a lot more than I did when the game released. That is ultimately how I feel about that. Balance. I know a lot of people are down to complain about balance. I'd be down too, but let's start from the top. A lot of characters, because the game is a lot slower, will feel a lot worse. Majority of characters, people might be like, yo, my character's worse, I can't do this, I can't do that. There's a lot of that. And I understand that. But from my point of view, I think the balance is really good. I think there's a lot of characters who are very strong at the upper levels, and I'd like to see more characters brought to that level. Currently, I know I haven't seen a singular Velma. I haven't seen one. I've played this game non-stop since release. I haven't seen a singular Velma. And I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure these guys have tried Velma out since before they played against me, you know? So, for balance, I think the game is pretty balanced. If you're complaining about balance, I think that you just don't understand the overall balance of the game. The game is a killing game, in my opinion. The game is a killing game. If you can kill people early, you'll do really good. If they nerf characters who kill people early, there's going to be 5 others who can. So I think it's better to find ways to bring characters up than to bring characters down. And even then, if your character isn't super duper solid on their own, a lot of MultiVersus is 2s. You can find a good teammate. Like, I think Black Adam and Harley are really good characters, and I didn't play them today because both of them, in my opinion, don't do very good with Banana Guard. Overall, the power level of MVS is just pretty high. I think if you want things to get nerfed, you kind of just like, you're just creating a completely different game where more things will be broken, or like the level might be a little less. And I really like where the balance of the game is right now. I'd like it to stay around this level. Sometimes you explode. That's just the nature of, I would say, a game with 2s. If you explode in 1s, you messed up. You messed up. There's so many tools in disadvantage, and you're exploding in 1s? Get better, bro. Like, genuinely get better. So, that's how I feel about the balance. I ultimately think the balance is fine. I think if you just take time to understand how to play disadvantage, you'll have a good time too. I kind of talked about the speed already. Again, I like where the speed is. If you want to burn your meter to go fast, I think it's awesome. There's so many like tech already that I've been finding regarding speed that I'd like to see more people try to lab out to just go fast. Old MVS players, they just go fast and burn themselves out immediately. But there are more ways to go fast than just doing dodge, jump, you know? I'm a very big fan of the new system when it comes to speed. It's not a game, again, where you can just force your game plan on people and maybe they guessed right or maybe they guessed wrong. You know, you don't have to just like be like, all right, I'm dodge tagging in, good luck. Because that's what a lot of beta MVS felt like. So I'm very happy with where the speed is at. Perks, I know that perks kind of took a big hit. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm actually not a big fan of that. I wish that perks had a lot more variety to them, but I also know that majority of the player base did not experiment with perks at all. At all. People didn't realize the power of having your confirms kill 5 to 10% earlier, or having certain confirms, like, it's just, you know, like stray hits being stronger. People really didn't experiment with the perk system before. And I know what you're thinking. No, I did try that. That's fine. If it doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking about you. But a lot of people didn't experiment with a lot of perks. That's just the way that it was. So I, as somebody who did experiment with a lot of perks, wish that the perk system had a lot more potential of flexibility. And I think that there is still a lot. Like, I'm looking at the perks right now. I think Ross told me the tier 1 perk is for the team, the tier 2 perk is for you, and the tier 3 perk is flex. And I think that's really cool. I actually think that's really cool. So I'm kind of a big fan of, let's see what perks end up doing. But I want more perks to come out as the game comes out. I already have my idea of what perks are really solid and what ways I can use other ones. But I'm also lazy, so I don't want to counterpick perks all the time. I see somebody in chat mention triple jump. Triple jump? A lot. So this is the thing. A lot of people are like, yo, the game's slow. The game's blah, 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 right? I personally think a big reason why that might be is because triple jump is gone. Now, I guess I can talk about this. Let's say flow. I think triple jump being gone is awesome. I love triple jump being gone. I'm so happy. Because the way that disadvantage works in this game, you have to play disadvantage. I say this a lot when it comes to talking about ultimate players playing other games. The reason why I'm specifically saying ultimate is in ultimate, when you get hit, you actually have a good amount of options. You have attack fastball, which is pretty good with a lot of people. You have neutral air dodge that has very low landing lag. It's pretty much a falling, you're just falling invincibly. You have falling invincibly into teching. Ultimate has so many options to fight back at a disadvantage that a lot of the times it doesn't even feel like disadvantage. Like, damn, I got put in disadvantage and I'm killing you. Awesome. And I played a lot of platform fighters. I like platform fighters where disadvantage matters a lot. That is something that I like to value. It is not something that I like a lot from Ultimate. And in the beta release of MultiVersus, it felt like disadvantage was kind of a meme, because everybody had a dodge jump, a dodge attack, and like sometimes they just had dodge jump to get out of disadvantage. And it made it really hard to push disadvantage as hard as you could have. So I would say the lack of triple jump makes disadvantage a little harder to be in. But not just that, because the system has burnout now, because it's so easy to end up in burnout, it makes it such that if there was a triple jump, you do give people in burnout more tools, which makes burnout a little less valuable. I'm a pretty big fan of triple jump being gone. I know it was a lot of people's favorite perk, because I mean it was just so good. But I think with the new system, triple jump being gone is a pretty good thing. I think if people want triple jump back, you just don't like playing disadvantage and you just want to have more options when you get hit. So again, same thing. I just want you guys to get better at the game. We have parry now. Parry is a really good disadvantage option. It'll make people have to wait. You have swing on a disadvantage. There's a lot that you can do that doesn't involve jumping 2 times while you're in disadvantage. So that's how I feel about the perk system. You want them to feel more impactful? Yeah, I think it feels impactful. I'll go into the lab tonight, find out how impactful 5% is. Because 5% is the difference from winning grands and losing grands. So to me, 5% is very impactful. And even then, Pugilist, it's a tier 3 perk. I think your melee attacks do about 10% more increased damage. I think that's really good. I think that's really good. I think that's insane, actually. But people aren't going to say that because they just don't figure it out. It's like, okay, I was going to kill them anyway. But from my point of view, I understand what it takes to kill somebody and to almost kill somebody. And having that difference is a very, very big deal. It's a very, very big deal. Doesn't mean it's not boring. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Some things are boring, man. If you think it's boring, that's cool. I think killing somebody earlier is hype. Everybody has their own cup of teas. There's a lot of different perks, even in the new system. Triple jump is a passive stat buff. You jump 3 times. That's boring. Like, dude, okay, everybody gets an extra jump. Some characters are balanced on their double jump, man. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's not passive. Everybody gets 2 jumps. I mean, I guess like sure you're doing like the same thing, but you can't do double jump into immediate triple jump. That perk, it was an amazing perk. It was good. But like, I like that having 2 jumps means you have to be meaningful with what you're doing. That is something that I personally like. I understand. Adds so much. No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Like giving more options, I don't think is always a good thing. HBox quote tweeted this one tweet where everybody's playing with spirits and they're floating around all the time. I think it's hella funny. I actually think it's hella funny. But I don't always think more is a good thing. But I'm a big fan of what disadvantage is without triple jump. You know? Like, again, if you're in disadvantage, hold that. If you can't hold that, this might not be for you. I'll be honest. Because disadvantage in this game reminds me a lot of Smash 4. Smash 4, very fucked up game. But even then, it's not even Smash 4 because you have dodge jump out of disadvantage. You have dodge attack out of disadvantage. You have aerial parry. And you want 3 jumps? Be for real. Be for real. Anyways, stages feel pretty good. Stages feel pretty good. I don't like that currently there's no like ranked queue, so I have to play on all the casual stages. I think it's funny to try to sweat on the casual stages because we just don't have anything else right now. I really hope that gets fixed really soon. I'm kind of tired of playing a good set and getting Dexter's Lab or Mojo Jojo Laser killing me at 0%. But the stages have always felt really good. I know that the character models being what they are, I thought I'd feel a little weirder about like blast zones and stuff. Because, yeah, these characters are pretty big. But ultimately, it feels really nice. I play a few pretty light characters, and then I play Black Adam, who's pretty heavy. You can tell when a stage is like a low ceiling. You can tell when a stage has like the mid ceiling. Horizontal blast zones being what they are, like you play on Mansion. I used to be a big Mansion hater. I'm a lot more on the Mansion is pretty fine train. When you hit the little things, the little coggers, I don't know what to call them. I'm gonna call them the coggers. When you hit the coggers, the stage becomes very bad. Very, very bad. I think we can all agree. But when the whole stage is pretty flat, roof and no roof, I think Mansion's pretty fun. New stages I think are cool for casuals. I hope I don't play them in tournament. Yeah, so Mojo Jojo without Townsville, or I mean, sorry, Townsville without Mojo Jojo would be cool. It seems a lot smaller than like Sky Arena Plats and Trophy's Edge, but I could be wrong. This is just based off of feeling. Ultimately, I wasn't sure how I would feel about the stage balancing going into the release of this game. But I do like it. I am a fan of the stage balancing. And yeah, I don't think, in terms of gameplay, I don't think I have much more to say. Oh, the input buffer. I know what people online or on the internet are like, yo, the input buffer is 30 frames, right? If I'm trying to play competitively, bro, why am I trying to do my down air that has a ton of hit lag and just like, right for my next move? Like, what are you doing? If you want to play like competitively and you want to be good, bro, time your moves. 30 frame buffer is going to be the same as 5 unless you're literally just doing this to follow up. Like, I don't know, man. It bothers me sometimes too, though. Sometimes, and this is something I like right now, if you go for a hit confirm, and you miss, or you react a little early, and you notice that you can't get it, you can't take it back. The input buffer has no take backsies, so if you put something in too early, you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that. Like, in terms of, I understand, I'm speaking strictly from a competitive point of view. Strictly. I hope it gets changed. I hope that the toggle for it gets added to the game. Don't get me wrong. All right? But when it comes to playing competitively, you shouldn't be mashing that hard. You really shouldn't be mashing that hard. It has only given me problems maybe 3 times out of the 20 to 30 hours that I've played the game. So again, I do want it to get changed, but if I see competitive players talking about the buffer, I got some words. Ultimately though, I said it before, I'll say it again. I've been having a good time with MultiVersus re-release. I mentioned it during Twitch Rivals that when I was playing with Ross against K7 and Pred, even against like Mango and Lucky and Bugs and Key Wonder, that the speed felt very similar to old MVS for me, just without the guessing. Without the, okay, they're gonna dodge jump, I hope I attack at the right time. There was a lot less of that, and honestly, it felt really good to play some high level 2s today. And it's been feeling very good to play some 1s when I have been playing against people. And at the end of the day, I understand that this is not everybody's opinion. I'm not speaking for the overall player base. I'm not trying to tell you guys what MultiVersus is. Okay? I'm not trying to tell you your experience. I wanted to try my best to tell you guys my experience with the release of MultiVersus, and overall it's been a very good experience, and I hope that the game continues to get better for a majority of people, because I understand there's a lot of outcry right now, and if the game gets better for you guys, the game will just get better for me too. So I hope that PFG is listening. I really do hope they are, because I think that they are doing a lot of things right. I just hope that they find a way to convert that into doing a lot of things right for the majority of players, gameplay wise. One thing too, I'm gonna say this before I finish my talk. Bro, I don't understand. This is just me venting. I don't understand why so many people are like, bro, MVS was so good before and they ruined it. Why did they ruin it? When I know damn well these people did not play MVS for that long. They didn't. Like, I played MVS going into like October, November. I don't understand how you guys know so much about what MVS did right before, but you weren't playing the game. Like, that like frustrates me. Because people are like, yeah, they were so good before. Okay, so where were you? Why weren't you playing? I don't get it, man. That stuff bothers me a lot. And I understand, like, people did like the game a lot, but I streamed MVS a lot in the beta. I played in, like, I didn't play in a lot of tournaments, but I made a lot of content for it. And I saw the content, and I saw the player base, like, go up to down. I was there for that. So, like, it's just so interesting to me that people are like, yo, it was so good. And I'm like, where were you? Like, clearly you left. The player base went down. Clearly you left. So if they did so much right before, why weren't you playing? And I want to ask these guys that. I really want to ask these guys that. I don't get how you can hate so much on a game that you loved before when you just didn't really play it. Left because they took the servers down? They took the servers down last year, Wombat. The viewership and player base for this game was going down in fall of 2022. What do you have to say about that? Tell me, Wombat. Tell me. Let me know. Because I care about this stuff. I try to make sure I'm very well knowledge and I pay attention when it comes to talking about these things. You know, I'm not just spitting out of my ass. You had 221 hours in beta. Who am I? Who am I? You don't know who I am? You're full of shit. You want to see the evil badge? I'll show you the evil badge. You want to find out who I am? Let me see. You got a badge even remotely close to this? You got a top 32 badge? It wasn't that hard. You got paid for top 32. Almost a grand. How much did you get? Were you at Evo? Were you playing the game? Yo, there was the leaderboards. Where were you on the leaderboards? Yo, let me know. I was up there. I was grinding for #1. Where were you? Where were you? Let me know. I didn't even play a ridiculous amount. I'll be honest. There are players out there who genuinely played MVS until it went down. And those are the type of players, I ended up inviting them to Rivals, you know? These guys cared so much about MVS, and I understood that. I paid attention to it. I wasn't there all the way until it went down. But I played a good amount of multiverses. I played a very good amount of multiverses. I know what I'm talking about. I played competitively, I played casually. Bro, I would play 2s, Qs by myself until the dead of night. So let me know, Wombat. Top 5% Arya? Damn. That's it? I'm good, bro. Keep talking in chat. But anyways, I hope you guys did very much value me talking about the game. I know that I don't have the same opinion as a lot of people. I actually have been enjoying my time with the game. I very much have been enjoying my time with the game. I hope that they make the game better because, again, the game getting better is better for everybody. I think I'm overall easy to please. But even that, like, I've been putting the time and effort to see what it takes to be a good player in both the beta and in the current release. I also know that I don't speak for everybody. I'm specifically speaking for myself right now, and that's the voice that I want to have. So if you guys have your own opinions, you know, that's fine. If you guys heard me talk about one thing but you don't agree, there's nothing wrong with that, because PFG, they want to hear y'all's opinions. They want to hear what people are saying about the game. And some of it's constructive, some of it's not, but ultimately, I know that they want to make the game better, and I'd like to do what I can to let them know my experiences. Am I ignoring all the issues with the netcode? Calpheus, I played against somebody from Australia and somebody from France today in very playable connection. I think the netcode is doing a good job. I hope that they get some issues fixed with the consoles or with some of the desyncs that seems to happen on the Mojo Jojo stage. But as somebody from West Coast USA, I got to play across the ocean to the west, and I got to play across the ocean to the east. I think if they can fix whatever issues they are having, it's going to be amazing. The netcode in the beta? Oh, netcode in the beta was not good, man. It was not good. Okay, sorry, Calpheus. I threw hands with you. My apologies. One thing for me that matters a lot, I just like playing games with my homies, and I felt like I couldn't play games with the homies in the beta. The netcode now is a lot better. They're having some desync issues and maybe some console issues. Sometimes it's a little off, but again, I did play against Australia today, and I did play against France today. I hope you guys appreciate me ranting. I don't like ranting too much on stream, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it gets negative, and I kind of cooked Wombat. I'm not gonna lie, but I know that I don't agree with a lot of guys when it comes to the gameplay point of this game. But yeah, I tried to keep it as one-to-one on how I truly feel about multiverses. Because yeah, the more I play, it can get closer to beta feeling. Like, genuinely, dude, today felt awesome, man. Today felt awesome. I just wish the hit stop was a little less. However, there's this one Tom and Jerry combo where the hit stop is kind of a big deal. So I think the hit stop changing would change a lot of the balance of the game. But it's like the balance as in, like, small battlefield versus PS2. Yo, Pyro can full hop onto the small battlefield platform, but not the PS2 platform. It's like things that ultimately don't matter.